right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Get this thing tweaked in. Okay. There we go. Oh, we got a couple dozen people here. Somebody could let me know that you can see me, hear me okay before we get going. Hey, Steve Steele. How you doing, man? Phil, how you doing? Loud and clear with a whole bunch of thumbs up. Thanks for helping the channel, Phil. Lima Charlie from Jeff Abbott. Sweet. Mark Pearson, another Lima Charlie. Steve also. Jay Brunsting, how you doing? All sorts of people chiming in now. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. I'm just going through some spoons to show you. Craig, heck yeah, fish on. Todd Bone, good to see you. David, Rob Otham, I see a lot of Tangle Tackle Army members here. You can tell the Army members because they have their names in green on the channel. If you want to join the Tangle Tackle Army, the link to do so is in the description, or it will be once this is over. Chris Olson, another one. Jason Everett, another one. And what you get with that is you get your name into a drawing for a free charter with me once a year, and you get private good lord, you get access to our private Discord page. So a couple pretty cool things, and it supports the channel. It keeps us going here, lets us keep on bringing you guys and gals videos that you like. Steve Steele saying the live video from a couple days ago was pretty good. Yeah, that was a heck of a nice fish. I want to say thanks to my friends Fred and Doug and Jeannie. Jeannie was the one that caught the fish. Congratulations on a true monster, about 28 and a half pounds on a certified scale. That fish bled, unfortunately, quite. Once we got on the boat, it bled all over the boat. So, you know, once they lose the slime weight and that blood, I'm sure that fish was over 30 pounds when it hit the deck. But that was a big, big fish. It was a big, big fight, and it was a lot of fun to watch her get that in. If you want to check that out, the video is up on that thing. Just go back and watch from a couple days ago. It's one of the other live streams. We try to do not every time on a charter we can't really get a live stream going, but a lot of times we get a live stream going. You can always check back and watch. But I also wanted to thank those guys for bringing me some more oatmeal raisin cookies, and these are really good. These are from the Farm Kitchen in Mayo, Michigan. They said it's a really nice little farm market down there. So I have been munching on these. So thanks, guys, again for bringing me these cookies. I'm going to have one. I got a little glass of milk here to go with it. Ryan Purchase from El Paso, Texas. Good to see you, man. Yeah, Ryan, you had a really fun day on the boat as well. You guys put some really nice fish in the boat. All right, time for a cookie. I'm good. I'm really good. Anyway, pardon me while I munch down a cookie. So Derek Watson, I'm going to bring that up right now. If you join the Tangle Tackle Army, don't forget you have to email me so I can send you a Discord invite. That Discord does not set up automatic invites when you join the Army. So please email me when you join the Army. I will send you a link. What I ask that you do is when you get onto the Discord, just go and introduce yourself in the introduction section and make sure you go in the name check section so that we can verify that everybody in there is in the Army. So pretty easy to do. But yeah, I will send you a link. Scott Ergetzinger, good to see you. I haven't seen you on a while, Scott. It's always good to see you back. I know how busy you are, buddy. Don't worry about it. Scott Argetsinger, of course, is from Dreamweaver Lures. Check them out at dreamweaverlures.com. And I always got to remind everybody that these Sunday night live streams are brought to you proudly by Dreamweaver Lures. So really, really good people. And Scott, I'm always happy to have you here, bud. This is going to be a pretty quick one tonight, unless you guys and gals really want to talk about something. I don't have a topic of the week. I don't have much more to talk about other than the fishing report. But as always, once we're done with that, if you guys, gals, want to go over any topics, we're happy to do that. And I'm always glad when Scott's here, he can answer things as well. And we have a lot of people on here that are really, really knowledgeable when it comes to Lake Michigan fishing, Great Lakes fishing in general, salmon fishing in general. So good to have a bunch of people on here. But we'll do question and answer after I do the fishing report. I'm not running my normal OBS setup tonight. When I'm at the boat, I just do not have the Wi-Fi or the way to link up to my my laptop and all the other gadgets that I have. So we just do it through the phone. That's fine. We don't need fancy things all the time, do we? That's why we can't ever have nice things. All right, so fishing report for Manistee, and I'm going to think that this is probably, I wish I could say this was also for Ludington, Frankfort, Pentwater, Muskegon. I wish I could. The Manistee seems to be, we seem to be unique this year. Like, we seem to have had the coldest water for the longest amount of time, and now we got super warm water, and the break is way down deep. But it's like we've been in our own little island over here in Manistee for the majority of the year. We're watching other people like Wisconsin tearing them up, and Muskegon tearing them up early, and the southern shore of the Upper Peninsula tearing them up, Charlevoix tearing them up. I'm happy for everybody, but I think our time is right around the corner. We're getting really good fish starting to show up. Again, we're starting to get some better numbers. Like I said, the break is down pretty deep right now. When I was out the morning before last, it was down at about 75 to 80 feet, and that had moved up a couple feet from the previous day. If we get a little north wind, we had so much north wind for so many weeks at the beginning of the season, and now we're praying for a little north wind to come back so it moves that break up. So if we do get some north wind, we'll bring that temperature break back up. Hopefully we don't get too much north wind, because when we get that, of course the lake will flip right over, and that's just really it's a misnomer more than anything. The lake doesn't really flip over. It's just the whole lake in the shallower waters will go ice cold from top almost all the way to the bottom if it really, really goes hard. So let's hope for a little north wind, not too much north wind, and if we can get that temp break anywhere in that 40 to 60 foot range, that's usually when it's a cue for game on fishing. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I haven't looked at the wind too much over the last couple of days, but yeah, we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. So so one thing I want to throw out there, my boat is actually laid up right now. When we fished out yesterday morning, we were running out, and I don't know what I hit. I'm going to have to assume it was a log, but my starboard side prop, I'm sure, is in bad shape. When we were trying to run on it, get up on plane, it's really bad vibration, really bad, and really couldn't get up to much speed. We were able to get back into port just fine, and I do have the boat coming out of the water tomorrow morning. We're going to take a good look at it, and let's pray it's just a prop, and that it is fixable, and that it doesn't cost too much money. But of course, it is a boat, so that means that everything is going to cost a lot of money. But anyway, it's just the name of part of the game. Part of the game when you charter fish, you're going to have problems. You're going to have breakdowns. There seems to be a little bit of a pandemic going on around here in this marina. One of my friends, his starboard motor just blew up on him. He's trying to find a replacement. Another guy I know had his transmission go out. Another guy I know, his lower unit went out. There seems to be a whole bunch of things going on around here all of a sudden. It is part of the game, and we have to roll with it. But anyway, just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on it. If you don't see me out in the next couple of days, that's going to be the reason why. But back to the fishing report. Kind of went off on a left turn there for a second, but fishing was good for us yesterday morning. We ended up boating 9 fish, I think on 11 or 12 bites. We did get that nice 28.5 pounder. We had several other ones in the mid-teens, maybe low 20s. Some really nice fish starting to show up. What was working for us, and it was a flip-flop from what it was, say, about a week ago when our divers were really firing. I think we only had 2 diver bites yesterday. One was my high diver back 220 on that double glow, or on that two-faced Pro Troll with the crushed white on it, again with that KRW, that brand new KRW HT blue-green dolphin fly. If you haven't gotten your hands on that fly yet, get it. It's been by far my #1 fly this year. In fact, I'm running it more now than I am Pickled Sunshine or Riverside. Now, I know that's blasphemy in some ways, but I'm just being honest with you. It's been a really, really, really good fly, and if that thing keeps up in that fashion, it's going to be up there in the upper tier with some of my favorite flies: Pickled Sunshine, Riverside, double aqua double or aqua glow gold. My God. And a few other ones as well. That thing has just really been going. I better take a bite of a cookie and slow down. Oh, good. So high diver back 220 with that Pro Troll with that fly on there. Nothing on meat. A couple other boats I talked to said they'd been getting some bites on meat, but nothing for us. My starboard side, Timmy's side, my first mate, his low diver went, and I'm trying to remember what he had on that thing. I think it was a paddle and fly, and I don't remember which one it was, but I'm sure it was probably that blue-green dolphin fly. That went once. Center downrigger went once down at 120. That had a beck hold. Mercury falling, black blade, Mercury falling. That's been a solid rotator for us for the last couple of weeks. The white beck hold Mercury falling and the black Mercury falling have both been working really good. The black edging out the white a little more lately, but I've been running that with about a 42-inch leader with that same fly, that blue-green dolphin fly, and that's gone several times for us over the last couple of weeks. That did go yesterday. 4-color went with a Jordo colored plug on it. 300 went with a spoon. Center the starboard side out and down went with a spoon. I'm going to show you the spoons here in a second. And let's do that right now. Starboard side out and down, that was set at 50 to 55 down. The Atomic Melon in the RV, in the mag, that went 3 or 4 times yesterday. That was probably our #1 spoon from yesterday. The Blue Slice in the standard size, this is a Fuzzy Bear. Yeah, that's Fuzzy Bear. That's been living on my 13 color. That thing's gone several. That's one of my most consistent spoons over the last several days. 13 color with that Fuzzy Bear Blue Slice on it. It's been really good. 225 copper took the big fish of the day with the Dancing Anchovy in the mag in the RV tape. That thing's really starting to get chewed up pretty good. I had another one of these Dancing Anchovies, but oops, I broke it off last year. The tape was gone almost from there down to about there. Just the RV tape, just gone, and they were still mashing it. Wish I'd never broke that off. That was such a good spoon. But that went twice yesterday, at least twice, on that 225 copper. Fuzzy Bear Shelly Snack has been going on my downrigger. That's taking a few bites. The Half Loaf Moonshine on a medium core, like a 7 or 8 color lately has been going. Been getting a few steelhead on that one. That one's been pretty good. The A-Bomb, of course, that thing's been living on a 300 steel or a 300 copper, or even a 350 copper where it was yesterday, and that thing took bites. Fuzzy Bear Half Jeans, half the blue jeans, that thing's been good as well. And this one's still working for me. That is the Charlie Special. That is actually a salmon candy spoon. You know, you can see these salmon candy spoons, they get a lot of flex in them, but they do pop right back. I'll give them that. They seem to be a lot more, I'll say when I'm wrong, and I was wrong on these. They are a lot more rugged than I thought they would be. They got a lot of flex in them, but they pop right back. Tape's pretty good. That thing's been, I think it's been jumping around. Anything from a 4 or 5 color to like a 10 color to like a 225 copper. It's been all over the place. It's been on a downrigger, and it's been pretty consistently good. So that's the spoons we've been running mostly. I'm sure there's a couple other ones I'm forgetting, but if I was going out tomorrow morning, and I'm not, unfortunately, I got to fix my boat. If I was going out tomorrow morning, I'd be running down to about the 12s and trolling south. Seems like there's some good fish down that way. 130 to 150 foot of water. I'd be putting my center downrigger down to start at about 80. I'd be putting my corner downriggers down. One probably at 50, the other one maybe at 70 to 75. I might leave one up high, but I'd probably more than likely I would be running at 70, 75, and I'd be putting free sliders on both my downriggers. A couple good ones for us, free sliders, the A-Bomb, the Blue Slice. Those are excellent sliders. Divers, I'd be putting lows at, probably anywhere from, I don't say probably. I don't mean to say probably. It's such a vague word. I'd be putting them that from 125 to maybe 175, maybe even 200. High divers, I'd be putting at 200 to 250. I'd be running flash or fly on my highs. Might be running meat on the lows, but I might keep them all flash or fly. That Pro Troll or a double slick, Kevin's girlfriend, UV Showtime. Got a train going by if you can hear that. UV Showtime, the green sparkler. Any of those are going to be pretty good for you. He's really laying on that whistle good. Any of those would be pretty good for you on your divers. On my side, I'd run a 225 copper, a 300 copper, or a 13 color, a 350 or a 400 copper. They're starting to get down there pretty deep. Starboard side, I know Timmy the other day ran a 225 steel, a 300 steel, and a 400 steel, and I think they all took bites. I think most of our long lines took bites. Anyway, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be trolling south. I'd be keeping it about 2.0 to 2.2. That seems to have been a pretty good speed for us lately. And again, working that 125 out to 150. Maybe a little deeper as the sun starts coming up. All right? Yeah, you can hear that train. I know, Bill. No doubt. Anyway, that's the fishing report. That's all I got for you this week. We're almost, 17 minutes in anyway. It takes me that long to talk. Scott Garbs just asked about his pickled sunshine flies. They seem to get tangled up pretty bad. That's very, very common. A little trick you can do, if you get a dog hair brush, one of the steel tooth brushes, or combs rather, not a brush, a comb, a steel tooth comb. Keep it on the boat. You can actually comb those things out. You're gonna rip some material out, but you can comb them out. What else you got? You guys can sit here and watch me eat cookies, drink milk. That's gotta be riveting. You're welcome, Scott. Who else has got questions? See if we can answer some for you. Blind Osprey, there's my first mate. He should have grabbed a couple of cookies. Somebody asked what size fuzzy bear. That's the mag. That is the standard. You can see the difference in sizes. I've been running that one mostly on my long lines. Mags I've been running on my downriggers. But I usually put like a standard above, on a free slider above my mag on my downriggers. Have I run any plugs yet? I ran them once, Dion, once, and I didn't have a hit on them, but it is definitely time to start getting them out there a little more. So I plan on running more plugs in the very near future. Everybody fingers crossed that my boat is up and running here very quickly. Pat Allen, I think I just answered that, but what depth am I catching most of the fish at? 125 to 150. You're welcome. What else you got? Have I done any more real drag upgrades? I have not, but I will say this: that 10 color that we did upgrade, really good, really, really good. Somebody asked South Troll, North Troll. We had them going both ways. South Troll was the way I was going yesterday to start the morning. It worked fine, but we got them going north too. Would I use a flasher on a 350 weighted steel? Yeah, well, you can use flasher fly or flasher meat on coppers and steel, no problem. Some people go as far as putting them on lead core. I do not. I think you're running a big gamble. Lead core has such a whip to it. I don't know how good that's really going to work for you. So it might work. It's just something I steer away from. 170 people here. Thanks to everybody for being here on a Sunday night. 20 minutes in. 110 degrees down there in El Paso, Texas. That's pretty warm. A good question, Ken. Is wire and weighted steel the same? So I see that mistake made all the time. When you're talking wire, we're talking about our diver wire that has no stretch in it whatsoever. It's what we run on our diver reels, going down to our deeper divers, our dipsy divers, things like that. when we're talking about weighted steel, it's a much thicker diameter. It's still wire, but it's used the same as copper or lead core. So really good. Don't get those two confused and try putting weighted steel on for your diver lines, or vice versa. Good question though, Ken. Zach, how long of a leader do I run behind my lead core? That's a good question also. And it's the same for me on copper, lead core, and weighted steel. I start with 45 feet, and as they get nicked up, they're going to get damaged. Excuse me. They're going to get bit. They're going to get frayed. They're going to hit downrigger cable. They're going to hit diver wire. They're going to get damaged. I start at 45 feet and I trim it back until it gets to about 30 feet. Once I get to 30 feet, I replace the whole thing. Really good question. No problem, Ken. Scott, thank you. Yeah, if these videos help you out in any way, if you could hit that like button for me, I would really appreciate that. It helps the channel. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. It absolutely helps the channel. The more support we get, the more of these videos we can put out, try to help everybody out. So if you're into helping people out, the easiest thing you can do is just like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Mornings have been better lately, Paul. It's not always that way, but mornings typically, or lately rather, have been better. Thanks, Rick F. I appreciate that. We'd like to try to help people on this channel. Information should be free. I was lucky enough people to help me when I first started, so yeah, definitely. John Warren, how do you keep your divers from tangling into your downriggers when you're turning around? First off, check your settings on your divers. Make sure you're not on a 0 setting. If you're on a 0 setting, that diver is going straight down. And when you try to turn, it's going to float, or not float rather, but it's going to pull back behind the boat. It's going to tangle into your downriggers. My lowest divers are set on a 1 for me, and my outside divers or high divers are set on a 3. My suggestion is to always have it on at least a 1 setting so it's pulling out from the boat a short ways. Otherwise, you're going to get those tangles. Jay, that's a good question. Jay Fogarty just asked, do fish get used to seeing the same thing over and over? And that's honestly a topic that a friend of mine, we were just having. Because every year, there's a new product that comes out that seems to just destroy the fish for a certain amount of time. And, you know, I am no expert in this sense. I'm not a marine biologist. I don't know if this is the right answer or not. I'll just give you my opinion. Yes, I do think they see the same thing sometimes, and they may remember. You know, fish are just like anything else. They're an animal, and they have fight or flight. And if they do sense danger, what do fish or other animals, including ourselves, what do? We either fight or we flight. Well, fish are going to fly. They're gonna take off more than they're going to fight. Obviously, they don't want to be damaged. They don't want to die. They want to live out their life cycle, go into the rivers and spawn. So if say they're in a setting where they're seeing they're seeing a lot of things, the same things day after day after day after day, and something in the back of their little small brain is saying that's danger, that might be a reason that they're not biting those things that they see day after day after day. And then when you put something new down to them that might seem like a non-danger thing, that might sound completely stupid. In fact, now I think back on the way I just said it, it does sound a little stupid, but I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible that fish get accustomed to seeing a certain thing, thinking that certain thing is a danger element, when they will not go near it. Have I tried rubber cut bait? Yeah, I did last year. I tried it a couple times, and maybe it's because I didn't give it a big enough sample size. It just didn't catch anything for me, so I have not run it since then. What's my average lure or fly behind a ball in deep water? Do you mean leader length? Somebody, whoever that was, circle that back to me if you could. Have I ever run 3 divers on one side or at a time on one side? I have not. I know there are people out there who do that, especially on the walleye side. But no, I have not. I'm not gonna lie and say it's not something I haven't toyed with. The idea, come pierhead fishing time. In fact, I may try that this year, running 3 divers aside. Dennis Clement, you say a shop setup for 10 color gave you a 15-foot leader, said it would give you better action. In my opinion, I disagree with it, but I don't know. Give it a try. Maybe they're right and I'm wrong, or vice versa. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe they both work. I run 45-foot leaders on everything, and it's always worked pretty well for me. Jonathan Kepich watching from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Can't wait to get back to Onekama. Yeah, Onekama's a great town. That's the town I live in. Well, outside of it, but it's what I call my hometown. It is a nice little town, though, without a doubt. Okay, looks like we're winding down. We got 170 people still here. Thank you so much for that. We got 50-some thumbs up rolling in. It looks like it's 50-some or 30-some. Whoever threw those out there, thank you so much for doing that. That does definitely help the channel. All right, John, I saw you come back through with another question on those divers. John, if you want to send me an email on that, maybe you and I can figure something out. And if there's something, maybe you got your diver set on the wrong side. I've seen boats do that inadvertently before. Just remember, port is always port, and port is always left, and starboard is always right. Make sure that you don't have them set on the wrong sides, and they're crossing behind the boat. I've done that before, a long time ago. Hope not to do it again anytime soon, but yeah, I've done that before. And that could very well be your problem. Do I still change weights on divers? Ken, I do it. I do that mod on my high diver. I have that on another video. Dan Cannon must have asked a really good question. Jay Fogarty is saying it was a good question. I must have missed it. I apologize. If Dan, if you want to throw that back out there, I'll try to catch it before we sign off here. Dennis, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. I'll give it a couple more seconds, see if Dan Cannon wants to throw that back up there, or if anybody else has anything real quick. Where can you get the KRW fly? Look at the Tangle Tackle website, if they have any in stock. They've been selling out quick. TangleTackleCompany.com. Dan, that is a good question. Do I think that colors or patterns matter more? I think what he's saying in deeper water, because when you get to the deeper water, colors show up differently. Some colors don't show up at all. But of course, we have to think that our eyesight and salmon's eyesight are completely different things. Different rods, different cones, completely different in the way we see things. They see things at deeper depths than the way that we see them. So I like running darker colors at deeper depths. I think there's something about those reds, purples, blacks that show up a little bit better at the deeper depth to the fish. There is something to be said also about glow. It's always a good idea to have a little glow in whatever you're running down deep. And I do think that some patterns show up a little better down there as well. They may trigger a few more strikes than say just a blank. Take the UV Showtime, for instance. Really nice UV tape on there. Different color gradients, and I run that thing down deep all the time, and it is one of my top producers. So really good question. I guess a long answer was with the one I just gave you. The short answer is I don't know for sure, but I do like to run darker colors down deeper. either darker or something with glow, or a combination of both. All right, cool. Yeah, that was a great question, Dan. Great question. Wish I had a little bit better answer for you. All right, let's get out of here, though, everybody. Scott Goddard, you're very welcome. We will see everyone back next Sunday, 7 p.m. Hopefully, we pull the boat tomorrow morning, and it looks we can get it on the water quickly, and we'll get back out in the next couple of days and keep getting you all these videos. Again, I said this before, if there's anybody out there looking to do some videography and some video editing, there's a lot of things I want to do on this channel that I find very difficult to do as a one-man show. I need somebody else to be able to film and maybe do some editing for me as well. If you're out there, email me, christangletackel@gmail.com. I'd love to see if we can hash something out together. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Like, subscribe, share, whatever you got to do. See you next time.